crazy times we live in. Thank you for joining us, coming at you guys from the DCF studio. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! Alright. Thank you guys for joining us on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Feeling like a new man without the beard. It had been a long time since I actually shaved everything off of my face. But here we are, quarantine. Got a little stir crazy, little bored. Can't get to the barber shop, so decided let's go ahead and shave the whole thing. So that's what we did. Here's where we are. Thank you guys. Been another great week here. We've done a few cool projects this week. Today I've been working on a pair of Wrigley Field inspired Jordan 9s. The timing of those would have lined up perfectly with baseball season, but unfortunately, you know, we're not getting any sport. I miss sports, man. Let me tell you guys what. I miss sports badly. If there's anything I miss right now, it's sports, man. I need some back. I need some back, guys. So we could talk about anything you guys want today. Custom shoes. We could talk about movies. You could ask me about TV shows. You could ask me about sports. We don't have to talk about just custom shoes, but if you guys want to ask me what grits of sandpaper do you need to use, what brand of adhesion promoter do I use, and how do I prep my shoes, you guys can ask. Don't even worry. So let's go ahead and make sure we got everything pulled up here. Everything looks good. 84 people already. Audio is a little quiet. Audio is a little quiet. Let's see on the computer screen. Looks like it's good. Let me check the mic. Make sure we're where I want it. Let me know other people. Let me know if I am quiet. Let me know if I'm quiet. I'm naturally a pretty loud person, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But let me know. If more people let me know that I'm quiet, I could check something out. But let's see. Cubs or Sox? Asked by Josh R. I am a Southsider, born and raised a Sox fan. I still remember the 2005 World Series. It was October 26th. My bike was actually stolen from McDonald's that day when Juan Uribe fielded the last out, threw it over to Paul Konerko and Joe Buck with that magical call that the White Sox are World Series champions. Says it's better. Okay, good. Let's see. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's see. Tyler Neal says, is there a GAC alternative for Too Thin? Just tired of ordering it. I don't believe Golden Brand has... you know what? They might. I think they do. If it's not going to have a number attached to it, like GAC 900 or the GAC 200, but I believe Golden makes an airbrush medium, which is pretty similar to Too Thin. I don't recommend it as much because, I mean, it's nice that Angelus makes one specifically to work with their paints. So anytime you can do that, that's going to be the way to go. So audio is all good. Beautiful. Thank you guys. Let's see here. Okay. Where shall we start? What editing software do you use for time-lapsing customizing? So we use Premiere Pro for all of our video editing. That is Adobe's video editing program. It's basically like their video editing for, it's similar to Photoshop, except instead of photos, it's for videos. You know what I mean? So there's plenty of other ones. There's a ton of apps that you can use on your phone for stuff. So it just depends how complex you need to go. But if you're kind of just doing... if you're just going to be recording on your phone and then, you know, making time lapses out of it, which is something I definitely recommend, there's a few apps that you can use for that. So, let's see. How you get Kenny G to do your intro music? That's a good one, Chris. Are you reviewing any Instagram profiles today? We might do that if the chat wants. I got a longer cable today, so I didn't have to scoot the desk over. I got the phone connected. So if we want to do that, we could. FU Custom says if you're a student, there's great discount codes for Adobe. Absolutely. Peekaboo Belgium says, hello, I'm looking for an airbrush. What model do you recommend? I use the Badger Patriot 105. It's what I've used for years. Another very similar budget-friendly option that a lot of people like is the Iwata Eclipse. Those are both right around or under $100, and you can do a lot of great stuff with them. Okay, so let's see here. Sean says, what's your opinion on color changing paints durability wise? So when you work with color changing paints, the way that I know how to do it, I haven't done one in the past. I'm waiting for the right project to come up. The color changing paints, what you use is Angelus Neutral, which is essentially clear paint, and then you can mix in pigment into it. And so as far as I know, I believe the durability would be just as good as using, regular any color Angelus paint on top of the surface. So durability wise, of course, it's going to be affected by, how well you prep the surface, dry time, all those things that we always talk about. But I believe that it should work just as good if you were painting the shoe blue versus doing a color shifting blue. So yeah, that's one that we want to do in the future. A color shifting custom. I talked about this the other day. I went on Instagram Live, and I was talking about that, some color shifting paints. I'm just waiting for the right project to come up. I don't want to do it just to do it. I want to have a theme where it makes total sense for me to do, a color shift, not just I'm going to do a color shift with a designer brand pattern or whatever. So I'm thinking I'm trying to think of, I was trying to think what would be the right theme that would come up where I would do something color shifting. So I was thinking, is there like a robot or something that's color shifting? Maybe, I'm always going to be a fan of doing, like animal prints and stuff. So I think there's like certain types of reptiles that can do some color changing stuff. So maybe that's where it would be cool. But I'm waiting for the right project to do something like that. So. Okay, let's see here. Dexter the Jetser says, I did color changing paint and it turned out a little chunky on the shoe because I added too much pigment. Yeah, I'm sure, when you're doing it for the first time, it's tough to figure out the perfect amount of pigment to use. Gareth Tansey says, who inspired you to get into creating? So the first customizer that inspired me to do something was El Capi. Now, this was 2011, the fall of 2011, the year after LeBron went to Miami, and he released the South Beach LeBron 8s, and it was a super rare, exclusive hype shoe at the time, and it was incredibly expensive. I was in my second year of college, and I couldn't afford them, and I saw El Capi had painted a pair of Jordan 6s with that Miami Vice kind of theme, the teal and the hot pink, and I thought that was awesome. So he was the first kind of artist that I saw like, wow, I want to try to do that for myself. So that was the pair that really got me into it. Okay, yeah, carnival theme shoe, right. A jungle animal theme color change would be fire, absolutely. Tariq says, how do you manage to do all orders at the requested times? So what I do typically is I overshoot my wait times. Now, what I mean by that is, if a client's reaching out to me for the first time and they are looking to have a project done, and, I say, in my head, I know if I finished everything I currently have as of today, it would take me 6 to 8 weeks or so, which is, a month and a half to 2 months. I'm going to tell them that the wait time is 3 months. Now, I have a pretty long wait time, which not everybody has, and longer wait times naturally are going to, turn some people away because they don't want to wait. Nobody wants to wait for anything nowadays. Thanks to Amazon Prime and Jeff Bezos, nobody wants to wait for anything. So when you have a long wait time, naturally people are just going to say, all right, well, I'm going to search for somebody else. But that's kind of how I do it, so that, I'm not... selling. I'm not rushed to do everything. And then sometimes, projects are going to pop up, of course, over those two months. And sometimes as an artist, you're going to get projects that come to you that just really wet your whistle, where you just want to push everything aside and you say, I want to create this. This sounds awesome. You know what I mean? Naturally, of course, building a business and as an artist, you're going to have projects that are sort of there that you take on because, of course, you have to pay the bills. You're trying to build a business. You want to of course, provide a service, and some people are going to want certain things. And just as an artist, as a creative, certain projects are just going to interest you more than others. You know what I mean? So things like that come up all the time. So that's kind of what I would recommend. Don't overpromise that you're going to have everything done in a week and you have 10 pairs to do. You know what I mean? That's when you're going to really shoot yourself in the foot, per se. Okay, here. Let's see. Gem Custom Shoes says, what is the absolute maximum amount of coats, considering they are all very light coats you can put on leather without it cracking? Also, considering excellent prep work, it's very dependent on the color, the surface, everything. I understand the question. I would say the max, once you're past 6, that's when it's like, okay, I'm starting to apply a lot of paint here. So what I mean by that is, let's say you were trying to take, naturally, the hardest color to paint, anybody who's used Angelus colors for years, the hardest color to paint is yellow. Like a real bright, like mustardy, not mustardy because that's a little more orange, like canary, big bird yellow. And let's say you were working with an all black Jordan 1 or an all black Air Force 1 and you wanted that to be that bright yellow. That would take more than 6 coats, which is starting to get not good, because in order to get that yellow to pop at all, you first need to get that black leather converted to like a light gray, a mist, closer to white. That's going to take you 3 to 4 coats. And then are you really going to be able to make that yellow pop and be solid after 2 coats? That's where it's getting a little risky. So, if you were doing that, ultimately, I would say that that's probably going to take like 8 coats total. You know what I mean? It's probably going to, if I was working with an all black Jordan 1 or Air Force 1, it's probably going to take me 4 coats to where I'm happy with my base color of getting it to like a nice light gray or mist. And then probably about 4 coats to do like a solid yellow on top of that. So I think once you get past 6, that's when we're starting to push it a little bit. So that's a great question, though. That's a great question. Carlos Gonzalez says, doesn't matter what age you start at, the earlier the better. You got more time to get ahead. So Massimo de Klerk, I probably butchered that one, sorry, bud. But were you scared of starting and making the money back? This is what I'm most scared of. So thankfully, lucky for me, when I started, I painted a pair for myself. I posted those, and right away I got people reaching out to me that wanted me to do pairs for them. So the first pair that I did was a South Beach Jordan 6, and then I had people hit me up to do a South Beach Jordan 5 and a Tan Yeezy Jordan 6. So all I had to do was get, the more paints, but I already had people that were willing to pay. So of course I was going to be able to make profit along with the materials and whatnot. So was I scared? No, but I can see that hesitation. But at the end of the day, you go out and you buy the materials, your paints, your prep supplies and all that stuff. It's not like it's completely going to go to waste. You know what I mean? Even if you're worried that the shoes might not sell, well, they could be pairs that you wear yourself. Now you got a cool pair of shoes to wear around, and eventually you're going to get, clients just based off of that. So I wouldn't be too worried. I always try to teach you guys about building a business out of this custom sneaker thing, because I'm lucky enough to have been able to build a business for myself and support me, my family, and things like that. And I'm very thankful and lucky that I've been able to do that. But don't just come in right away and make it all about the money. It can't be about that right away. It has to be about the love for creating or for shoes or for design or something like that. That's where the passion needs to be. But if all of it's about, the money first, if you're just chasing that, it's gonna be hard to stand out and sustain and all those things, because the money might not be great at first. You know what I mean? It might not. So it can't be just about the money when you start out. So. Okay, let's see here. Matthew, our moderator, thank you for being here, buddy. Let's see. Let me answer that one. Myron says, where do you get your shoeboxes from? Initially, we used a company called Packlane, packlane.com, PACKLANE.com. You can check them out. You can order boxes. The first run we did was a 250 quantity. I think they were around $6 to $8. The second run we did from them was 500, and I think we got them down to $5 a box. And ultimately, our next run we needed to do in the thousands, and I knew long-term I needed to get these boxes a whole lot lower. So that's when I started talking to local companies, and there's a little bit more upfront cost because you need to purchase a print plate, which is essentially a ginormous cookie cutter of your specific size box and artwork. So there's a huge upfront cost, but then you're able to get the boxes, you know, for runs of 1,000 start at about $1.13 for us now. So that's pack claim is the answer if you're just looking to get started out and get some done. Okay, let's see here. Like I said, guys, it doesn't just have to be about custom shoes. You want to ask me about sports? I'd love to talk some sports. I miss them. All right, I miss them. So let's see. Shout out from the Philippines. That's awesome. Super cool to see. It's always cool to see all the different countries that are able to join us. Petro says, what's the suggested airbrush settings for leather and fabric? I don't think that the what's it called? The settings on your airbrush would change or differ if you were... James, Mad Vivid Custom says, hi, coming from an architectural background, have you ever got into 3D printing? I have not. So when I was in college, the 3D printers were around. I started college in the fall of 2010, and I left the spring of 2013. So I finished 3 years of college. And so 3D printing technology has grown a lot since then. They had them at the college that I was at. It was more for grad students that were using them. They weren't really used by undergrad. What we did have some access to was laser cutters. And so that's something that we were able to play around with a little bit. We had a really cool shop where I went to college. So they had some real cool stuff. I would love to go back there and kind of see how much that's changed just, you know, with the evolution of technology over the past, you know, I haven't been back to the school in 6 years or whatever at this point. So I would love to see how much the shop has changed and what else is there. But I saw a real cool thing. I was watching an episode of Shark Tank last night about, it was a couple years old, it seemed like. It was a really cool 3D printer for kids, and it printed toys, and they had, I think, 750 options that kids could pick from and customize and all this stuff. And the 3D printer was $2.99, and it's crazy just how much you know, the prices of 3D printers and stuff have gone down, and I think it's going to become a whole lot more accessible for people in the near future. And in our public library in downtown Chicago, I don't think you need to have any type of certification or anything. I think they have free 3D printers that people can use. I'm not sure what you need to actually access it, but I do know they have some. So let's see here. What do we got going on in the chat? LeBron versus Jordan. That's a great one. Chicago guy. Of course, I'm going to say Jordan. You know, Jordan 6-0 in the finals. Would he have 8-peated if he didn't take all that time off for baseball? Maybe. Would he have, you know, clearly we saw with the Warriors a little bit of you know, teams get, you know, tired after championship season, after 100-game season. Their season goes on 2 months longer than anyone else in the who doesn't make the playoffs. So, you know, could the team have had a little bit more fatigue? Potentially, who knows? But to have those 2 3-peats, and if you think about all the all-time legends that MJ went up against, oh my goodness. It's pretty cool. Over the last couple of weeks, they've been broadcasting on Comcast, which is Chicago's local sports network, some old games from like '96, and it's just incredible to see because I wasn't old enough to literally remember those Bulls title runs, but you know, I know I watched it with my dad, and talking with him recently, I'm like, man, there's a couple guys on here that were on the bench that I didn't know they were that good. And, of course, just actually watching Scotty and Mike play. Oh, my goodness. What a team. What a team. Let's see here. What do we got going on? Ripsy, you heard wrong. What do we have here? Carfax says, does regular acrylic paint with too soft work on canvas? Also, alone acrylic paint on leather shoes, no, you would not want to use regular acrylic paint. Regular acrylic paint is a whole lot thicker than Angelus leather acrylic paint. Now, the leather acrylic paint is formulated to work with leather, and Too Soft is formulated to make that leather paint work with fabrics. Regular acrylic paint is so much thicker. It doesn't have the bendability and the flexibility and the durability of Angelus leather paint. So I don't recommend using just regular acrylic paint. So yeah, let's see here. Cornelius Taylor says, I saw a guy using suede dye in an airbrush or maybe leather dye. But my question is that an adequate method to use, or would I damage my project? You would damage your airbrush by putting dye in there. That's not something that I would recommend, because now when you have dye sitting in the cup of your airbrush, even if you try to clean it all out, there's still going to be some of that dye residue left behind once you go and insert the next color. So let's say you have some black airbrush dye you have some black dye in your airbrush and you clean it out, you think you clean it out, now you go and you put in hot pink into that airbrush. Next time, you're not going to get that clean of a hot pink. So don't insert dyes into your airbrush. You don't need to do that. FU Custom says, Japan Olympics in 2021, that's crazy. Would you go if plane tickets were super cheap? Yeah, I can't believe the Olympics moved back. The Summer Olympics are my favorite because one of my favorite sports to watch, I only watch it during the Olympics, but I played in high school, is volleyball. Watching professional volleyball is insane. That you want to talk about athletes. These guys and the way they're able to jump and how strong they are. Oh my goodness. Watching volleyball is... I love it. I love watching volleyball during the Summer Olympics. Of course, I love watching basketball too, soccer, of course. But yeah, what I really would like to do, it's coming here in 20. I don't know what year. Is it 20? What year's the World Cup is coming to? It's coming to 3 countries. It's coming to America, Canada, and Mexico. Is it the next one? Qatar is 2022. Is it the 26th one? Or maybe it's the 2031. I'm not sure which one, but I definitely want to go to some World Cup games. More so than I would go to the Olympics, just because I'm a huge soccer fan. Deontay Taylor says, which airbrush did he say was under 100 in quality? I recommend the Badger Patriot 105. Somebody said, "Sup, fake Jesus." Yeah, without the beard, it's not the same guy. It is not the same guy. Oh man, you guys are too funny in here. Too funny in here. Sneakers on the Wire says, hey, upcoming customizer on YouTube, how can I keep my content flowing? Just try to be as consistent as possible. What we do is we try to do 1 video a week. I'm going to try to do these lives once a week. It's a lot to do, but when we first started, we were doing like 3 videos a week, and we did that for like 6 months. So it's just all about, forcing yourself to be consistent. There was plenty of times where I didn't want to film, and Jason said, scoot over, I'm going to get right behind you, and we're filming this. There were so many times we were out of ideas, and Jason would just say, just shut up, we got to get through it, come on, we got to figure something out. You've been doing this for so long, you come up with something to teach, you know what I mean? And the crux of what we've always done on YouTube is thankfully, because we're able to stay busy, we're able to film videos about the projects we're working on. So basically almost everything you see on YouTube, it has real world application because it's actually on projects that we were commissioned to do. You know what I mean? So we're not just painting for the sake of painting for the most part, which is good because, then you guys can actually learn from it. Favorite movie? That is a great question. I don't even know. I should have been better prepared because I said we could talk movies, TV shows. I should have been better prepared. Favorite movie? Man. Oh, boy. Favorite movie. Ah, man. I think I'm gonna have to say the original Halloween. I think I've just seen it so many times. I think I'm gonna say the original Halloween. Certainly as a kid, it was absolutely the Power Rangers movie. I think that movie still. I might add that movie is by far the movie I've seen the most times. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine how many times I've seen that movie in my life. But yeah, man, that. My goodness, Inside Man is one of my favorites. The Town. I love a good heist movie. I just saw The Town for the first time this year, and I've rewatched it a bunch of times. What a great movie! I love a good heist movie. Yeah, Inside Man, The Town, Heat, Den of Thieves. Yeah, I love a good heist movie. Heist movies and horror movies. Those are definitely some of my favorites. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm already excited for the beard to be back. Probably about another 2 weeks or so. We should be good. We should be good. Can you please review some Instagram profiles today? Yeah, we'll hop into that. We'll hop into that soon. Let's see what else here. Sam Peter says, what vinyl do you use? What brand we use? Orcal 811. Soy Sauce says, tips on painting more thinner detail lines. So practicing your breath work, practicing how steady of a hand you have, finding the right detail brush, trying out a couple different brands, potentially trying the toothpick method. I don't want to force that on you guys, but it's certainly what works for me. It works for a lot of other people, and there's plenty of people who say they flat out can't do it. They can't hold the toothpick. The paint's a little too blobby when they try to apply it. So, but if you can get a hang of it, it's something that I still use every single day. And believe me, I've tried really expensive detail brushes. You know what I mean? So you just got to find what works best for you. Beckham Custom says, what is your favorite MLS team? The hometown team, the Chicago Fire. They have been the laughing stock of the league for many, many years. They were good for 2 years back when Schweinsteiger came the first year, made the playoffs, got bounced right away, and they just weren't able to put it together over the last couple seasons. But a lot of new signings. They looked pretty promising in the 2 games to start this year. So I was excited to see what they were able to do with the rebranding, a new coach, basically an entirely new roster. I was excited. I'm always excited to see the growth of MLS. I can't wait for it to actually kind of be considered one of the bigger pro sports here, and I think it's on its way. Let's see. This was an interesting one because during the week there was a lot of customizers were doing cool things on Instagram stories, work in progress challenges, top 5 challenges, and so I see a lot of questions here about what is my favorite shoe that I've done or anything like that. And so I actually have I posted it yesterday. My top 5 favorite shoes that I've done. This has changed a little bit over the years, and I probably actually forgot 1 or 2. And I actually still have 4 out of the top 5. So one of them is going to be these Chucky Air Force Ones, which you see right here. These we did for our Halloween contest, our horror theme contest, and so I obviously took some inspiration from Chucky on these. We have his sweater on the toe box, a lot of his torn up skin from some of the later movies on a lot of the panels, the blue from his pants, and his jumpsuit, the orange from his hair. So those are one of my favorites. Some blood and just a really grungy, nasty looking pair. The Brooklyn Nets City Edition inspired Jordan 1s that we were lucky enough to collaborate with, actually selling these in the Barclays Arena over in Brooklyn. So that was a super cool project. I love how these came out. There's something awesome about a lot of the shoe is still all black, but then you just have certain panels that are just so incredibly loud. I think I just found the right kind of combination and ratios here of what panels to actually do the artwork on. Another one that you guys always see is our Japanese tattoo Jordan 5s with the koi fish on one of them. These, I just wanted to do something that looked a little bit kind of like tattoo paper, so a lot of the artists tattoo artists that I follow, when they do a lot of their designs and stuff, they sell prints, and it's always on this, you know, brown, tan type paper. So I wanted to do that as the background, do a lot of colorful stencils, and then do some Japanese artwork. So we did the koi fish. Another one is these Paris Floral Abstraction Jordan 1s. The Nike SB line was really where my love for sneakers started. I love a good classic pair of SB Dunks, and the Paris Dunks, obviously one of the rarest ones, most exclusive ones, have definitely been one of the most eye-catching pairs out there. I love the story behind them. And so I wanted to take basically the colorway and then, of course, apply my own twist. So I basically did this abstract background with a lot of the color work from them, and then did a floral print on top of all of it. So to me, again, this is another one. I love Jordan 1s, Air Force 1s, because of, you know, just how you can play with the panels and things like that. So I've worn these a lot over the years. You can tell from the bottoms, and still look great. Still look great. So yeah, those are some of my top 5. Those are 4 out of my top 5 pairs, and then the other one would be the Dragon Zord LeBron 10s. Now I did these like in my first or second year of customizing. They were inspired by the Dragon Zord from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Green Ranger, Tommy. And it was awesome. LeBron 10s were one of the most customized shoes when I first got into it. Mosh was going crazy with them. And he made a pair for LeBron, an Iron Man inspired one. And I remember we did a Dragon Zord pair, and I loved them. And I remember the original Green Ranger posted them on his Instagram and stuff. Super cool. And so those were definitely my other ones. I wish I still had one of those. So let's see here. Let's see here. We got some people getting kicked out of the chat. What happened? What happened, guys? What happened? Good to see everybody chatting in the chat, though. But let's see. We have a couple good ones here. A true story, though. We actually made a pair of these for Barack Obama, and they were going to be gifted to him by the CFO of the Brooklyn Nets, and we numbered them with the 44 and everything. We were going to have a tutorial on how to do the actual pattern, but to me, the entire premise of the video was, of course, going to be talking about doing that, and the only way we were going to release it is if we were able to get footage of Obama with the shoes, and we weren't able to get that. So he does have them. They were gifted to him, but we don't have footage. So to me, that's just not as cool. If I just say, hey, we did these for Obama, it's not cool unless I could prove it. You know what I mean? So that's a funny story about those. I wish that would have been true. Airbrush. So let's see. But with DCF, what is your favorite Jordan? My favorite Jordan is going to be the Jordan 3s. Black Cement Jordan 3s is my all-time favorite shoe. My cousin Jessica here in the chat says, what's on your shirt? So Angelus, the paint company that we use, sent us a few of these shirts last year in a couple different colors with a few of their paint bottles done by an artist on Instagram, and it's their paint bottles wearing shoes, and this one has a bandana on and stuff. So they sent us quite a few colors. I don't think they ever released them to the public, but they sent us a few of these, so that was pretty cool. Let's see here. What else did I want to say? There was something I wanted to mention. Something that we'll get to this a little bit later. I have a couple pairs of shoes here. So the story is, earlier in the week, I had to order a couple pairs of Air Force 1s for some upcoming projects, and I ordered them from eBay because I order plenty of shoes from eBay all the time. And so they got here pretty quickly. And the retail on Air Forces is $90, I believe, and they were on eBay for $85. And so it was a couple dollars on retail, so I said, okay, hey, I've bought, shoes for under retail on eBay before. That's why I checked there, because sometimes you get lucky. And so they got sent here, and 2 of them, unfortunately, were fake. So you could tell right away with Air Forces. Well, the box is a little bit of a different color, the label's a different color, and then Air Forces don't come with this silly plastic packaging. So I'll hold them up, and you guys can somewhat be able to tell. The leather is a whole lot cheaper. The sock liner material feels a lot different. So you can just tell they're like a lot more squished too. So they look hilarious at the screen I'm looking at. So I don't need these. I can't use them. I, of course, went to get my money back on eBay, and the sellers right away refunded my money and said, you don't have to send them back to us if you don't want them. You can donate them or something. So I said, okay, cool. I'm not going to use them. I don't need to use them for any projects. So I'm going to go ahead, give away 2 pairs. I have a size 13 and a size 7. Anybody can have these. If you want these, the only stipulation that I have is you have to prove to me that you have painted Air Force Ones before. And the reason for that is I don't want to give these to somebody who's never worked with a pair of Air Force Ones and actually prepped a pair of Air Force Ones, because the paint is going to be a little bit different on a cheaper leather. The prep is going to be a whole lot different on a cheaper leather. And so I don't want your first experience of working with an Air Force One to be on a fake pair. But if you want them, you just want to test out some cool theme, you want to, practice a certain art style or something like that, go for it. Don't sell these to somebody and try to pass them off as authentic, but just for your own practice, absolutely. So whoever wants these, shoot me a DM on Instagram and show me that you've done some Air Force Ones in the past. I have a size 13 and a size 7. I'll check some of my DMs once we get out of here on the live. And then, I'll give both of these away, a size 13 and a size 7. And like I said, only thing is you have to show that you have a fake pair, because it's going to react very differently when you work on an authentic pair. So, what do you say we go ahead and do a couple Instagrams? Who wants to have their Instagrams reviewed? If you are down, let me know. Send me your tags on here. Last week I noticed that it works a little bit better if you have kind of more post for me to actually, a little bit more of a feed where there's something more that I can review. Kind of if you just have, 2 posts, or you just have 8 posts, there's not enough for me to go off of, and I don't feel I'm able to give out enough information based off of that little of content where it actually makes sense for me to review it and for you guys to be able to take something away from it. I think I can provide a whole lot more value. I can give out a whole lot more information if there's just a lot more for me to review. So let's see. Let us see here. 92 people still hanging out with us in the chat. Thank you guys. Let's see. Who do we have that wants to have theirs reviewed? Let's go ahead and do our longtime supporter here on the channel. We are going to start with Brotistic. So let's see. Let me switch windows here. Make sure you... Okay, so Kaylin, I hope I'm saying your name right, Brew, Tucson, Arizona, custom sneaker artist, shoes are not provided, serious inquiries only. If it can be imagined, it can be designed. That's cool. I like having a quote in the profile there. I like that, it's simple, it's straight to the point. Has your name, your location, you're a custom sneaker artist, that shoes are not provided, serious inquiries only. Cool, you know what I mean? It's simple, it's straight to the point. Let's see what we got on the story here. A couple works in progress, always good, letting people see what's going on behind the scenes. And let's take a look at the feed. Cool stuff. Oh yeah, look at these on the bloodlines with that Vancouver Grizzlies jersey. Those jerseys are some of the best throwbacks ever. This is a dope pair. I love some clean on-foot shots. Looks like here we have some stuff with the black background that you did. That looks good. Looks like you were playing with that for a while. Yeah, look at these on the Westbrooks. The artwork is dope. It's a cool Sonic pair. Yep, I remember seeing these. These Marvel Jordan 1s. This is cool stuff. I dig it. I dig it. It looks good. There's a nice wide range of different types of shots and stuff. Oh, check out these horror theme. We got Michael. We got Jason. Cool stuff. Okay, so taking a look at it, I would say I think that the photography was actually in the content. I actually liked it a little bit more when it was up against, you know, the black background here, and I saw some with the green background, actually almost like a green screen. I actually like that a little bit more than some of the newer photos. Like, just for example, here we have the white Ultra Boost with some of the Murakami artwork on the heel cups. It's just a little overexposed from the sun. It was just, there was a little too much sun out this day. Here you can see on this one we have the harsh shadow line. So these are little things where, you know, just understanding light and shadow and understanding how to work when you're outdoors using natural lighting, which is far and away the best lighting you could use. But I just think that these could be improved a little bit by, you know, potentially, if you don't fully feel comfortable in it, just always looking for shade first. Starting with that, kind of same thing in some of these other ones. I think that the sun's a little bit too bright, whereas in these, clearly, who knows, maybe this was a little bit later in the day, the sun's already down. Maybe this was on a day where, a nice cloudy day, and I think that this picture works a little bit better than some of these Ultra Boost ones taken in this little flower bed or whatnot. Now it's cool to, I actually like the concept here of doing, you know, since Murakami kind of has that style that's almost like a colorful flower, you went ahead and used the flower background. Of course, that's a great idea, but I think that this would have looked a little bit better in the shade. I think, for example, here on this hardwood, obviously trying to, you know, capture that essence of being on a basketball court. I think some better poses here would improve some of these shots. But again, this is just me being nitpicky. I like a lot of on-foot shots. I think that's cool. There's a wide range of stuff here, a lot of different shots. You're testing a lot of different things. You're testing some pieces of content like this where you have the person wearing them and they can see some close-ups of the shot. So good stuff, man. Good stuff. This is a cool feed. I dig it. You have a wide range of stuff. I would say consider playing with some video too. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. Lots of good things going on here in the little highlight tabs. Finished shots of some stuff, so that's cool. Staying active, staying busy. You got a nice feed, buddy. I just think everybody can always improve the photography, and the reason I'll always say that is because you're trying to sell a premium product. It's got to look premium for you to have that premium pricing, for people to want to pay that premium pricing. You know what I mean? So that's why so many companies with huge budgets pour so much money into their content and their media and things like that. So let's see. Kevin says how to paint sportive midsoles. I'm not sure what sportive midsoles means, but for the most part, I always tried to avoid midsoles really on any shoes. On any shoes. Just because they're for the most part not they're just not going to hold long term, whereas the rest of the upper will do a little bit better for you. Okay. Okay, so yeah, if anybody else is down and has a bunch of stuff for me to check out, I will be glad to. Aiden Lopez says, is your event still going to happen in April? We certainly hope so. Some good news, hopefully good news, is that our public school system is slated to resume the day after our event. So our event takes place over a weekend, and the school system is slated to resume that following day. So that's potentially good news. We're still 3 weeks out. So I'm hoping things get better. Hopefully, I might be a little optimistic at this point. I hope we don't have to postpone it. I definitely don't want to do that because I'm so excited to do it. It's something that it's been such a long time coming, so I'm so excited to do it. The last thing I want to do is postpone it, but of course I would never, if the medical professionals are saying it's not safe for us to have a gathering of 20 people, even though we're going to be in a nice size space, everybody could be spread out if we needed, but I also don't even particularly want that. I don't want people to be scared to be by each other. I want it to be a fun, creative space. I want people to be able to interact with the other artists, not feel everybody stay 6 feet apart and don't get near me. I want people to go up and see what the other people are doing. So that's part of the experience. That's part of the event we're hosting. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. I don't want to have the event if I can't give that full experience. So hoping that it does get better. Let's see. Okay, Matthew says we should check out Trace Custom Sneakers. Trace, let's see. Hopefully, okay, here we go. Here we go. Follow my main account, Thomas Stevens. Email me at tracecustomsneakers@gmail.com. Are we still up? Yeah. Okay, so you can still see the phone screen. Okay, so let me take a look at some of the pairs. That's a cool one. Hydro Dip Air Force One. First picture is a work in progress shot. Got a pair of Concords on the back of a jean jacket. A Peter Pan and Lilo and Stitch pair of Vans. Okay. I like seeing some time-lapse stuff, and it's always cool to switch up, do video, do photo. And we got a Michigan Air Force One with the drip pattern and whatnot. And so, some things I would clean up. I would tidy up the description. Follow my main account, Thomas Stevens, you know what I mean? Maybe just something you could do is have, the little artist emoji and say the artist for this page is Thomas Stevens, not follow my main account, Thomas Stevens. Just shorten it. You want your description to be, your bio, to be quick, to the point, tidy, nice, clean, bullet point style. That's kind of what I recommend. So I would do that, and then just continue to improve the photos. Clearly just starting out, you know what I mean? Testing a lot of different themes, which is cool. Love to see it. You're testing a lot of different photography here, there, out on the porch, on some hardwood floor, over on some steps with some concrete, and just continue to improve the photography. So that's what I would say. Yes, let's see here. Okay, have him back in the chat. Thank you for that. Killanita2616 says, can you put beads in the air bubble of shoes? Let me know what shoes specifically you're talking about. Are we talking about like in Air Max 90? Are we talking about like a Jordan 3? Like a Jordan 5? Let me know what shoe specifically we are talking about. But thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you to anybody who is willing to support the channel in such as that. So thank you for that. Let me know what type of shoe specifically you're talking about, and then what kind of beads you're talking about. Let me know if that's something that you've seen somebody else do, because I can't say for sure that I've seen that done by anybody else. Beads. Are we talking about beads that would be on like a bracelet, or beads that would be on like a necklace or something? Let me know. Let me know. Sun Moon ASMR says, wait, so do I need to use acetone on every shoe type? On leather, on synthetic materials, those are where you're going to do your sanding and your acetone. You don't need to do acetone on softer materials like fabrics, canvas, suedes. Those are where you do not need to do acetone or sanding or things like that. You can kind of hop right in. Isaiah says, what finisher should I use if I do all the prep work correctly? So the 3 finishers that I use and recommend are going to be the Angelus Matte Finisher. That's a liquid. I like to use the Krylon Matte Spray. And then I also like the Liquid Kicks Matte Finisher also. Tyler says, do you have any tattoos? Are there any that you want to get in a favorite style? I do not have any tattoos. I know that's funny because I talk about them all the time. I reference them all the time. I just feel I'm so nitpicky that I haven't figured out exactly what I'm willing to commit the rest of my life to. Jason, I'm sure you guys have seen, probably he has 2 dope sleeves, and one of them's like all sugar skulls, and then the other one is basically, it's pretty cool because Jason is actually half Mexican, half Guatemalan, and so he basically has one sleeve is kind of dedicated to Mexican culture and the sugar skulls, and the other one has some stuff kind of dedicated to Guatemalan culture, such as their native bird, pyramids, and things like that. So it's really cool. So if I had to, I think I would do a left sleeve because, like Nick Young says, the right arm is for buckets, as you guys know. But yeah, I'm jealous of Jason's awesome left sugar skull sleeve. So potentially something along those lines, because sugar skulls are in Hispanic heritage is something that always intrigues me. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, Matthew, thank you for that, buddy. Don't have to, but got to support the homie. 6 feet apart. Yeah. Fist bump through the camera. We're more than 6 feet apart. Thank you for supporting the channel in that way, buddy. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I'm with you. I can't commit to one. Yeah, that's the thing about tattoos, man. And and then I have to find the right artist to do it. You know what I mean? Ah, boy, it's so tough. I would love to do it. Let's see here. How do you apply the Angelus Matte Finisher? Do you just paint it? That question is asked by Lucas. And you can paint it. You want to make sure that you're using a new paintbrush. You don't want any type of paint. You don't want to use an old paintbrush that you've already painted a lot with to do the matte finisher, because there's always a little bit of paint residue or paint left behind in the bristle. So you want to have a specific brush that you're using just for finisher. And you can also airbrush it. Airbrush is easier in my opinion, you know what I mean? But I'm somebody who airbrushes a lot regardless, but you can definitely apply it with a paintbrush or an airbrush. So, let's see. Quentin says, how do you manage your time? I get my customs done, but find myself taking days at a time. Do you have any time efficiency tips? Yeah, so for time efficiency tips, what I really recommend are anytime you can batch together similar processes. So let's say you're starting the week and you have 3 pairs to do for the week or something like that. It could be any number, but let's say you don't have everything planned out. Maybe you spend a couple hours on Monday doing all of your planning / your mock-up work for all 3 pairs. And then let's say you have 3 Air Force Ones or something like that. You go ahead and you make sure that you do all of your prep work at the same time. This way you have all of those prep materials right out in front of you, your sandpaper, your acetone, your Scotch-Brite pads, it's all right there. And then you do all of your base coating, your painting, your finishing. You try to do it all at the same time. This way it's a little bit more almost like, you almost want it to be like a factory assembly line. Excuse me, words are hard to come by sometimes, but you're repeating the same process over and over, because rather than you spending, okay, I'm going to try to finish this, however long it takes me 3 days to do this first pair, I'm going to do the mock-up, the prep work, the painting, the finisher, and then now I'm finally done 3 days later. Now I'm going to move into restarting that whole process again with the next one. Anytime you can group together processes, that's when you're going to be able to increase your efficiency. So yeah, let me see if we ever got an answer back on the bead question, because I want to make sure I answer that. Let's see. Matthew, let me know if you saw a follow-up to that bead question. Thank you, man. The chat is moving quick, so I want to make sure I don't miss it. So a name that I can't read because it's in different symbols says, so how much do you think I should expect as payment per hour if I'm starting out working for other people? I'm 16 if that changes things. If you're asking how much should you charge per hour, start somewhere around maybe 20-25 bucks an hour. Start that as your simple base rate, and then you learn from there. You'll learn, hey, this takes me way longer than I expected, or it's a whole lot faster, or people aren't willing to pay me at $25 an hour, something like that. Just kind of give yourself a base to start and go from there, and you'll be able to fine-tune it along the way. Let's see. Assembly line style, yeah, absolutely. Air Max 270. Okay, so Air Max 270. I would love to. I don't know if you ever saw if some other artist was able to put beads in there. I would love to see it. You'll have to shoot me a DM of that on Instagram. We are at DeJesus Custom Footwear because I would love to check them out, and then maybe I could better assist you on potentially how they did it. But one thing that they may have done is they may have separated the sole and the upper and somehow placed some type of beads in there or something and then reattached it. I would have to kind of see it to know specifically what we're talking about. But yeah, Sadir says, have you ever found the Krylon matte finisher makes the color too dull and lifeless? No, I would say they probably applied a little bit too much. If I had to guess, really thin coats with the sprays, with any type of finishers. Extremely thin coats is going to be the way to go, and the color will still be there. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and do another one. We are going to do Beckham Customs. Let's see. Flip over. Here we are. I think it's with a 3 instead of an E, right? Yes, it is. Okay, Beckham Customs. Based in Chicago, sneaker and cleat artist, Angeles Payne, DM for orders, nothing on the pages for sale. That guy's right there. That is the start of a great bio right there. Like I said, I recommend bios done in like a bullet point format. So I dig that. Staying active on the story, posting some mock-ups. That's cool stuff. And you got some of the newer posts are done in that row style on the feed, where you have the 3 posts that make up a row for an entire project. So here we have a mock-up for looks like some cherry blossoms on a Jordan 1 low. That's a pretty cool idea. We have a few different shots of a Joker Air Force. These are dope. I know you already sent these over to me, so I already was able to tell you what I thought about them, but great job on these. Yes, and then we have some more work. We have a Looney Tunes pair of Vans with a cartoon theme with that little sketchy pattern. That's cool stuff. Cubs pair of Vans. So I dig it. The feed, you're off to a good start doing the stuff in the rows. It looks like we have a turf background. So what I see here that I would recommend is editing your photos using an app, whether that be Lightroom, something on the phone that's free, Snapseed, Tada, Polar, whatever. Plenty of room, plenty of apps where you'll be able to edit. But that's what I would recommend. I would also say to improve the photography a bit. A lot of these posts, the shoes, just how you place them could be a little bit better. So if we look at this Looney Tunes pair of Vans, they're a little bit cut off and shifted off to the right. So if those were a little bit more center frame, and if you angled the camera a little bit differently for the shoes to take up a little bit more of the photo, that's where you're going to succeed. So I think that the shoes in a lot of these aren't taking up enough of the frame. So continue to improve your framing for the photography. So just Google cool sneaker photos on Google. Look at other artists who you dig their feeds and follow stuff like that. So like I said, you're off to a great start, and keep up the good work. Good stuff. Always good to see. Jason says, thank you for that, buddy. Thank you so much for supporting the channel like that with the gracious super chat. Thank you, buddy. Have you ever sewn or glued luxury brand materials from Dior, Louis Vuitton bags on your custom shoes, for example? If yes, any advice? Cheers from France. Thank you, buddy. Hopefully you're staying safe over there. So I have not done that. I don't know how to sew, unfortunately. My mother's mother was she was really good with sewing, but I was never old enough to actually learn from her how to sew before she passed, unfortunately. But I would have loved to pick that up from her, and she was super DIY and crafty. My mom is too, so that's definitely where I got this crazy idea years back that I could paint shoes from that side over there, and I would have loved to learn to sew from her because it's something that definitely would it would have some real world application for me. But I have not done that. But I would hopefully this year I would love to take the shoe surgeon's class and learn how to do all that, and then I would be able to do things like take the luxury brands actual materials and apply them on a shoe. So I think if you wanted, you could learn. You might already know how to sew, but I'm sure you could learn how to sew on eBay, and then you would just need to find a way to purchase the material. And you don't need to. Sometimes you can cut up a bag, or there's people out there who have cut up hoodies, jackets, things like that, and swap them into shoes. So that's super cool stuff. So I have not done that, but I know the shoe surgeon has done some incredible ones, like those. One pair that always stuck out to me was it was like a denim Supreme Jordan 1 that he did. Super cool to see. I don't know if it came from a jean jacket or where it came from, but yeah, I would love to learn to do that. So I think one of the most important things would be finding where you could source the actual material from if you're not looking to just purchase the bag and then cut up the bag or purchase the jacket, because you just have to find an authentic retailer of the material, and I don't know enough about that yet. But thank you so much for supporting the channel like that, Jason. Greatly appreciated. Bart says, how do you get the screen on the side to show what you're viewing in real time? So Bart, we use a software called OBS to do our stream, and it took me a long time because we've been using OBS for a while, ever since I switched over from doing the streams from my iPhone. But there is so much cool stuff you can do in this software. This is what I think one of the most popular streaming softwares that YouTubers use, and I just searched up tutorials on how can I connect my iPhone and have it viewing on the screen. So all I needed to do was plug in my iPhone, have a long cable so it can be near me, and then use a you basically just select a viewing device and set how big you want it to be. So that's all I had to do in the streaming software. Did all the hard work for me. Let's see here. Dreadeye says, is the prep the same for Jordan 1s as it is for Air Force 1s? Yes, it is. It is, especially if we're talking about all leather Jordan 1, which I assume you're talking about. All Around Stupidity says, hey man, my brother and I love your channel. How did you learn to be so talented? How did you start up your channel wanting to make one but don't know how to? Thanks, bro. You are the man, DeJesus. Thank you for that, buddy. So for YouTube, when we first met Jason, we met Jason in February of 2017. I would say we posted a YouTube video of our downtown studio in April, so about 2 months after we met him. And during the year 2017, we probably posted maybe 2 to 3 other videos, and some of them have been taken down because they were terrible. But 2 videos that are still up from then, if you scroll all the way back, are we did some shoes for Gary V, and then we did a Dragon Ball Yeezy. And so we just made a couple videos then. We weren't taking YouTube serious because we weren't getting a great response on the videos or anything like that. But then in early 2018, we were moving studios. We were leaving our downtown studio. We were also not growing on Instagram as much, and we're always just looking for ways to expand the business. And we saw an opportunity to just start to play around with video. So at first, we were actually just doing Zach King style videos on Instagram. So we just got really intrigued by the medium of video and how we can use it with custom sneakers. And so then we said, you know what? Let's go ahead and try some tutorials on YouTube. And that's what we did. And one of our first videos that really did good for us was how to prep football cleats. And another one was our first pair of Bape Vans. And a really interesting piece of advice that I got from a podcast one time. I can't quote the podcast where I came from, but everybody pay attention to this one. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. Everybody gather around, gather around, gather around. This is a good one. What they said was go out and find 5 pieces of content in your niche, in your marketplace that work. So for us, for example, go out and search 5 style of videos that are working right now. And what was working in March of 2018 was a lot of people were doing Bape Vans tutorials on YouTube, and they were getting lots of views. So we said, let's do our own. Let's go out and copy that. You know what I mean? And so that's what we did. We went out and we found 5 pieces of content and styles of videos and things in our marketplace that were working, and we tried to recreate them. So that's like, also in 2018 when everybody was doing the sketch theme on Air Forces and Jordans and every shoe. It's like when there's a huge wave of that stuff, you kind of want to capitalize it. You know what I mean? You, of course, want to put your own twist on it and stuff, which we always try to do. But, when something's hot, you want to strike while the iron's hot, as they say. So when the hydro dip thing was huge over the last year, from, I don't know, April to August or something like that, everybody was hydro dipping. So many people were able to get huge quickly. We didn't want to just do the same thing as everybody else. We, in retrospect, maybe we should have, because the hydro dip videos were getting millions of views, anybody who was doing them. And so we said, let's do ours a little bit different. Let's do one, but let's just make sure the video is a little bit different than the other one. So ours was adding a little bit of artwork on top of the hydro dip, using that as a background. How would we use hydro dip in real world application with clients and things like that? And so you just kind of want to try to be a little bit different. So that's what I recommend if you are, if you're just looking to get started, just get started. The most important thing is just get started. You learn along the way. If anybody's looking to have me review their Instagram and things like that, just get started. Just build out the Instagram. Try new things. Put yourself out there, and you fine-tune it along the way. Don't let something hold you back if I'm scared to start, because you just need to get over that first hump of starting. So, okay, so let's see. Ones with Sharon Dillon's work. Is there? I just want to check in, but I'm not. Let's see. Okay, so let's do a couple here. Let's do a couple Instagrams here. We are going to do Sam Peters. We are going to do sneakers by... Oh, gotta switch screens. Let's switch screens here. Okay. Sneakers by Sam. Okay, Sam Peters. 11 post. Okay, so stay happy, Red Deer. Shoe customizer, DM me if you are interested in custom. I like all of the graphics that you have for your highlights here. Sneak peeks with the little eyes emoji, interactive. That's cool with the 2 little people, customers, milestones, hydro dip, cool stuff. The photography looks like it's all done. I'm gonna say it's all done indoors, just on wood flooring. That totally gets the. You can't go wrong with a hardwood floor as a background. Let's take a look at some of the artwork. Let's take a nice zoom in here on the butterflies. The butterflies are done well. Look good. Hydro dip, those came out dope. Looks like you did a good job as far as, actually the tape and whatnot. Looks like there's not too much paint on the midsole or anything like that. The pattern looks cool. Some hand-painted wildflowers. Dig that. Dig that. I love the wave pattern on the checkered Vans. So, yeah, this is good stuff. Frieza on the pair of Air Forces, that's dope. I would love to see part 1 of 4. I can't wait to see what you do on the other shoe for these. So that's dope. This is a cool concept of Frieza taking up the entire side of the shoe. That looks cool. I like the white wood there. I'm not sure if that's maybe on a table or something like that. But that actually looks cool, man. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. So where would I say room for improvement? I would say edit your photos. I don't know. I'm going to say that to everybody. Never hurts to bring your photos into a photo editing software, whether you want to use a free app, you want to use something like Lightroom on a desktop, laptop, whatever the case may be. Here we have the, is it painted, or did you, yeah, that's painted, right? Actually looks good. That looks good. Oh yeah, here, obviously using the stencils. So, oh, I see some toothpick action. I see it. I seen it. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, so cool stuff. So yeah, the work looks clean. Room for improvement, of course, with the photography. But when you're just starting out, you are off to a good start. Another hydro dip pair here, using the. So I think that even your first post, your first 2, 5, 7 posts, they're all taken on a hardwood floor. You right away bypass the thing that a lot of people start out with of a photo on a messy desk, or on their bed with their bed sheets in the background, or on their mom's kitchen table with the toaster in the background. Right away, you were trying to compose them correctly with the hardwood flooring background, some nice top-down views, and so you're there. You'll get there with at some point you can upgrade the camera itself. I don't know if you're probably using an iPhone or something like that. Eventually you can move into a DSLR. So good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. Let's see here. We are going to do, I see another one, John. John has been asking a bunch of times. Let's see. John says, I am Tricked Kicks Customs. Let's see. Tricked Kicks Customs. Okay. So again, guys, if there's a little bit more, if your feed's a little bit bigger, if you have more posts, that's when you can really get the most out of it. When you only have, this one has 13, we've done some with 11 or 8, that's where it's a little bit harder for me to really give, the information that I want to give to you guys. So when there's a little bit more to the feed, that's where things are, that's where I think I can provide the most value. So it says, DM for special requests or questions, waste time, we block. Based in Atlanta, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. So right away, you're starting off within the first 2 sentences of, if you waste our time, we block you. I think that that's a little harsh. I 100% get it, because you don't want people wasting your time. Your time is valuable as an artist. I get it. People waste our time every single day. But when you come off the bat that quickly, that abruptly, that will block you, I think that your bio, your description could be a little bit better suited with just a little bit more about you, about Tricked Kicks Customs, what you stand for. You have that you're based in Atlanta. You talk about your payment methods right away. So I think give a little bit more about you right away. Don't come off right away ready to tell people that we're going to block you if you waste our time. I get it. But when you run a business and you're an artist, it is 100% unavoidable. It's unavoidable. There's going to be people that waste your time. There's going to be people who aren't willing to pay the price. There's going to be people who don't understand the process. There's going to be people who it seems like you guys are going to close the deal, and then all of a sudden they pull out the last minute. It's unavoidable. So I don't think that... Since descriptions are so short, the bio is so short, it's so limited in how many characters you can have, you want to maximize every character, and I don't think you're adding to your company at all by saying, if you waste our time, we block you. That's just my opinion. But hey, you guys are here on DCF Live, so you're here for my opinion. You know what I mean? So now let's go ahead and actually talk about the feed. Okay, so some Galaxy Vapor Maxes, like that. The Galaxy pattern looks cool. We have the colored lightning. So it looks like you're trying to develop a style of, here we have some Space Jam KDs, doing a lot of Galaxy work, so that's cool. Doing a lot of different basketball shoes, a lot of Kyries and things like that, Looney Tunes. Yeah, so I think that some of the artwork can, I think some of these can use a little bit more of a bold, nice black outline, really make them pop, really make them stand out, really make your characters nice and locked in place. Clean, dark, bold outlines will really help. Time-lapse here, always going to be a fan of that. Switching up your styles of content, doing some video, some time-lapse stuff. Here we have an IGTV video showing a time-lapse of that. That's cool. So switching up all the various forms of content. That's a dope. That's good stuff. Pricing and other details can be found on my website. So yeah, cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. A Mamba Mentality pair. So yeah, I think photography can absolutely be improved. It looks like this is done, I would probably say, on a couch. I think I'm seeing the arm of the couch in the background there. This tweed pattern couch or whatever it is. So I think that, you know, that could be done a little bit better. Hardwood, if you want to stay in the house, or if you can get outdoors, use some natural lighting. I think that the photography can be improved. So yeah, that's what I would say as far as improving this feed. But let's see what's on the story. Sneak peek. That's a dope pair of 11s. Dig those. Still for sale. Yeah, cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. Keep up the great work. John from Tricked Kicks Customs. Okay, what do we have going on in the chat here, guys? How are we doing on this beautiful Friday? What's up, Dylan? Our buddy Ty Custom Kicks is here. DeJesus merch this year, possibly. Hopefully, we are in talks with a couple different manufacturers about getting some stuff done, some Toothpick Gang stuff, hopefully in the near future. Let's see. Tons of people in here hanging out with us. Thank you guys for joining us. Dylan, can you check out Ben's page? Matthew, let me know what that Instagram is for Ben. We'll check out. Oh, Ben is Wolf Customs, but we got a Foles or Trubisky custom. BDN, Big Boy Nick. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I am not a Trubisky believer. I tell you that. So we'll see what happens. It's good that there's at least competition for him for the starting spot. But man, the Bears, I hope their window isn't closed, because last year was a great opportunity. They definitely disappointed last year. We already lost a couple guys from the defense. Mac obviously had a little bit of a slower year compared to his first year in Chicago. My goodness. But, you know, we were hurt all year with Akeem Hicks out, so hopefully the Bears will be better this year. But let's go ahead and see. Ben, what is Ben? Wolf Customs? Is that what it is? Let's see. Let's see here. Let me make sure I get that right. I lost it already. What is Ben's page that we're looking for here? Wolf Customs, okay. Switch screens. Wolf. $3+. So again, guys, there's just I'm not going to be able to provide enough value to you guys. I promise I will be able to maximize my value and what you guys will be able to learn if there's a whole lot more for me to critique. I totally understand a lot of people are just starting out and trying to do it. But let's see here. So Benjamin Wolf, custom shoes, DM me for a project. So I would build out that bio a little bit more about yourself. Photos, I think that you could do some better poses. The artwork, look at that. I mean, it's clean. Clearly you know how to pull off some clean stencil work. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, the artwork, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Just continue to improve your photography. You know what I mean? So we have the drip pair. What's the theme here? I couldn't tell if one shoe was meant to be one thing versus the other. But, you know, a couple different shades of blue on one and then the yellow and pink on the other. Almost kind of donut-esque. Got some Homer vibes on that one. But just improving the photography, the posing, the framing of the shoes themselves. And I think that the spot that you did them in, you know, potentially some steps in front of your house or whatever, you can do some cool photos there, because brick makes for a great background. And then you have that nice gray concrete slab on top of the treads, where you'll be able to do some great stuff. But just look up other artists, look up other custom sneaker artists, and copy some of their poses and things like that. So that's where that's where you'll be able to improve. Like in this one, for example, you have the door in the background. So if you just frame that a little bit better, you change your positioning of where you're holding the camera and the framing of the shoes, and these will definitely be greatly improved. So good stuff though, man. Good stuff though. A lot of potential there. That is for sure. Good stuff. Okay, we will. We'll do. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do. Cruz Whitaker says CW Customs. Let's check him out. Whoops. CW Customs. Is that right? With the dot, with the period? Yes, it is. 35 posts. Okay, look at that. I like the description right away with the butterflies, the bullet points. 100% custom and hand painted, made to order. DM for orders and inquiries. San Diego based and ships anywhere. Simple, straight to the point. I dig it. So lots of Air Force stuff, lots of butterfly work. Cool Bears pair right here. Got a butterfly on the Louis wallet. That is dope. This is good stuff. Look at this. This is a cool concept. This Bape theme on these Air Forces. Those are bold. We got the gold drip on the swoosh. Let's see. We got some flame Air Forces. Those could use some duller. Little too shiny. Duller would definitely improve those. And so it looks like a lot of the photos are done kind of top down with the shoes in the box. And so again, I think that the photography can be improved here, you know, using an indoor lighting setup potentially, or getting outdoors using some natural lighting. Here we have a Louis Vuitton drip pair. I think that the LV pattern should be a little bit smaller so you can fit in if you were more of the actual some more of the print. And that would improve those a little bit. Here we have a Bape Shark pair. Those are dope. So, yeah, I think photography, guys. Photography. As artists, it is so easy to be done with a project as far as the artwork goes and just be ready to move on to the next one. I finished the pair. I just sprayed my finisher. I'm ready to box them up. I'm ready to get them out, ship them out. And it's so easy to just be ready to move on to the next one. But there are so many times over the years where we've spent just as much, if not more time, on the photography and stuff than we did on even creating the shoes. So much of it is how you display the artwork to the world, and photography just matters so much. So I think that that's something that could be improved here. The artwork is dope. It looks like you're doing a lot of butterfly themed stuff, which you'll definitely have a market for that. So good stuff. Keep up the great work. Hop back over and let's see here. Did I go to the wrong one? I went to the wrong one? Wrong one. All right. Well, didn't ask for it, but got the critique anyway. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's check out CW Customs. Look at that. Look at that. There's two people with that similar of a name. One has an S. We have two different customizers. We have CW Custom. But let's see here. We have a Lamar Jackson pair of Air Forces. Let's see what else here. This is a really clean gradient on the... are these Cortezes or are they something else? I think those are Cortezes. We got the sketch theme Air Forces with look, I don't know if this was done just in portrait mode on the iPhone or if it was actually done with the DSLR, but you see how bokeh'd out the background is, how blurred the background is. This is that's good. That's a quality lens right there, whether it be the iPhone or a DSLR. Now, where I think that this photo, for example, falls a little short is the shoes are taking up only the bottom third, and we're more so looking at a larger photo of the trees in the background. So I think that if these were centered a little better, this pose is pretty hard to nail when it comes to shoes. It's not one that I really like because they're just, it's always going to be so, you know, if this is your frame, the shoes, when you do this pose, they're always only going to take up like the middle third. So I always want the shoes to fill the frame a little bit better, and it's hard to do with this pose right here. So it's one that I've never really nailed or loved. Some Stranger Things, Kyrie 4s, that's cool, using the deck as the background. So yeah, same thing here. Photography, here they're just done on the little table outside, you know what I mean? So you're going to be able to give it a little bit more professional look. It's not going to feel as kind of homemade, for example, when you remove the aspects of being able to tell that it was shot at a home, you know, by it's done on your backdoor patio table, like you can see here. And because you don't want that to take away from the artwork, because the artwork is clean. Like, look at how clean the Blue Devil is here. You know what I mean? The artwork is clean. The talent is there. So, yep, that's what I would... I don't even have... I'm on the wrong screen. I'm on the... Oh, boy, guys. We can't see it. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. So, yeah, this is what I was saying. Here's the Cortezes with the cool gradient. I was just talking for 5 minutes, probably. Here's the photo I was talking about where the background, the lens quality is good, but the framing of the shoes could be a little bit better. And forgive me for that. And here's the one I was talking about where the shoes are just on the backdoor patio table. And the Stranger Things pair with the deck as the background. So that deck, that wood could work as a background, you know, if you were doing some top-down shots. But like I said, little things just go a long way when it comes to photography. So good stuff, Cruz. Good stuff, Cruz. Okay. Ryan Jansen says, how do you clean your airbrush between colors? I just use a very simple... cleaning solution of water mixed with something like Fabuloso. You want to have maybe about 10% of that. You don't really need to use airbrush cleaner, and just spray that through, and then you know you're ready when you have when it sprays clear. You're no longer spraying out like paint, literally, within that mixture. So let's see. Yep. Sorry about that misstep there, guys. Israel says, I came in a little late. Did you say anything about choosing the 100K sub designs? Yeah, so that video for the 100K mock-up giveaway, that video I believe should be up in 3 weeks. Something that's pretty funny is the next 2 videos are already filmed, so I'm going to have a full beard in those, so you guys are going to be like, were you able to grow a beard that quickly? No, I wasn't, but our next 2 videos are already done, edited, everything ready to go, and so after that, we will have the 100K video, and we have a cool surprise on those. So also, like I said, if anybody's just joining us, I have a couple pairs of Air Force Ones. I'll go ahead and go over the story again. So I had to purchase some Air Force Ones earlier this week off eBay. I got sent a couple of fake pairs, and right away the sellers just gave me my money back and said you don't even need to send them back. So you could tell that they're a little, you could tell by the shape right away. But if you're interested in these, I'll gladly send them out. I have a size 13 and a size 7, but I do not want this to be the first pair of Air Force Ones that you have worked on. So just DM me on Instagram and let me know that you're interested. They're your size or whatever. You want to test out some stuff. But you also need to show me that you've done some Air Forces in the past, because I do not want the first pair of Air Forces that you ever work on to be a fake pair, because the paint, the prep, all of it's going to be very different when working on a fake cheap pair versus working on a authentic pair. Greetings from Mexico City. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Best vinyl for softer shoes where regular vinyl doesn't stick. That's where you want to use FDC 3700 glitter vinyl. TD Customs with a great question. What info do you recommend to have in your bio? So I think that your bio, if I had to give a quick description of what I would recommend anybody to have, I would say 3 to 5 bullet points for your bio on Instagram. 3 to 5 bullet points. What makes you different than everybody else? Start from there. What makes you different? Do you have a tagline? You know what I mean? What makes why should they go to you rather than every other customizer out there? And try to capture that. You want it to be short and simple and straight to the point, and catchy. You know what I mean? Find a way to stand out with your bio, but you want it to be kind of fact-based. So maybe your location, you know, a little bit more about you. So that's what I would recommend. Bullet point style, to the point, and what makes you different. That's what I would recommend. Stephanie says, can you prep the midsole so the paint doesn't chip as fast? Unfortunately, you cannot paint midsoles. I would never recommend painting on a midsole, something like an Air Force One. The paint is not meant to last on there. It's not going to hold up. Paint doesn't work with rubber. It just doesn't. Paint does not want to work with rubber. Elliot says, what is your top tip for someone who just started customizing? My top tip for somebody who just started customizing, try to find your style. Find what works for you. Find what intrigues you. Find another artist out there who inspires you. Find an art medium that inspires you, and just create. You know what I mean? Don't hop in and right away try to go for sales or numbers right away. Create for you. Try to find a style that works for you, and try to build that. So that's what I would... that is what I would recommend. So, let's see. Let's see here. Beautiful Friday, guys. Hopefully we're able to get back to normal soon. Hopefully life can get back to as we knew it. Kind of makes you appreciate just being able to go to the mall or anything like that. It's weird that you can't even do that anymore nowadays. You know what I mean? James says, make your bio in the Notes app bullet point style, then copy and paste it into your Instagram. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This way it'll actually come out bullet point style. Big Ty says, what printer do you use? If you mean what stencil cutter do we use a Silhouette Cameo 3. We also have a Silhouette Cameo 2. So the Silhouette Cameo is the one that I recommend. Samantha, you guys better know as OCD Custom says, I spent 2019 working on this, finding my style, and it's been so rewarding. Haven't had the most sales, but also haven't had time for them, and feel like I'm creating a genuine audience for my work. That is the most important thing. That's how you can be here for the long haul. If you're just doing the trend at the time, and you're just always trying to ride the wave, when that wave falls off, that's when, you know what I mean, you're gonna notice a downward trend. But when you have a style that you're gonna be constantly improving and doing, and it's gonna constantly be something that it's just not just a trend. When you develop your own style, and you've absolutely done that, you do tremendous work, Samantha. So yeah, that's why I always say it. Find your style. You know what I mean? And so for me, finding my style, when I have creative freedom, this is my style. When I get the theme of Chucky, I want to do something grungy. I want to do something dirty. I want to have the character look like he's been through hell and back. So I picked the Chucky when he's all scarred up, his skin's all torn apart. The sweater looks like it's hasn't been washed in 10 years. You know, that's me. The blood splatter, the grungy laces. That's what I love to do. Japanese tattoo, Jordan, colorful, loud background, and then doing some detail work. This is, you know, find a pair that really is everything that I love to do as an artist, and this is going to be one of them. A cool, complex background, and then getting the chance to do some really detailed work on top of it. So, absolutely. Absolutely. Thoughts on the Cricut Maker? I haven't used one, but as far as I know, you can do everything that a Silhouette Cameo does. So you should be able to get by doing anything you need to do with a Cricut rather than the Silhouette Cameo. So Sam says, will you be uploading this to your YouTube page after, or is it just live? Yes, so this will stay up here on the YouTube feed. I now also created a playlist for you guys to check these out. There's now going to be 4 videos in the playlist. The playlist is just called DCF Live, and it's all of these live streams where I'm on here for, you know, about an hour or so. A lot of Q&A, a lot of reviewing your Instagram type stuff, and now I'm finally pleased with how they look, how they sound. I'm able to use a DSLR camera. I'm able to have a mic up here. I'm able to just be pleased with the quality of them, rather than in the past I've just done them straight from my iPhone. So the video quality wasn't as good, the audio quality wasn't as good. So now everything's kind of starting to get closer to standards that I'm okay with. And yeah, eventually I'd like to get a little stream deck so I can have some buttons here and quickly switch between our screens and sound effects and all these things like that. So, of course, as we continue to do more of these, I'll always try to upgrade the quality. But yeah, this will stay up afterwards. OG says, do you put a finisher on Converse? You want to put a finisher on anything that you do. If you're working on a softer material like canvas on Converse, for example, that's where I would recommend a spray finisher rather than a liquid finisher. So that's where I would use like a Krylon matte spray. Game to Play says, do you have any videos to explain a fade gradient effect using a paintbrush? I saw the one with an airbrush, but got a cheap one with an electric compressor, but it's kind of bad. So I do not have any videos on doing gradients with a paintbrush, but it is something that has definitely been requested a lot in the past, so hopefully we'll be able to do one in the near future. Maldane says, what made you order from eBay? Is Nike not running right now? No, they are. Fun fact, I actually got banned from buying off Nike 4 years ago. They banned, funny long story, they banned basically any credit card. They're able to detect my address. So even if the credit card is registered to the address, they won't let any sales go through. So I've tried purchasing from Nike under different names, different logins, but if I use any type of credit card that's registered to any Dillon Jason at my address, it automatically gets flagged. The reason I got banned was years ago when the Nike Roches were all the rage. We were using a ton of the all-white Roches as our bases, and one time I ordered 23 pairs. 23 pairs in one order, and right away Nike, it's called blacklisted me, and so for whatever reason they weren't okay. I was paying full retail. I didn't even use coupon codes or anything. I had purchased 23 pairs, and they cut me off real quick. I don't have a good enough reason. It's not like Nike is mad at people doing custom shoes. They know about it. They're aware of it. It's not like, I have no idea why it happened, but they shut me down. But anyways, I ordered on eBay because every so often, when you're buying a simple base shoe, whether it be a Jordan 1, an Air Force 1, sometimes you'll find a pair a few dollars under retail, and that's what happened. The pairs that I bought were $85 rather than $90, and it's funny because, I guess the sellers know that they're non-authentic pairs because they just fully refunded me right away. I didn't even have to send them back, so anybody who wants them for practice can have them. Dominic says I should have ordered 22 pairs. Yeah, who knows? Maybe they would have let me afterwards. So yep, in PO box. Yeah, it's okay. It's been 4 years and I've been fine ordering from other sites. There's so many sites where you can buy other things like Foot Locker, Finish Line. I'm fine on all those sites. Dick's Sporting Goods, East Bay. It hasn't been an issue. It hasn't held anything up in the past. But yeah, I could always, order it to my friends through their houses, cards, whatever, if I ever really had to. So it hasn't been too much of an issue. Let's see. DJ Rock says, could you do a video showing the process of a customer getting their shoes custom by you, from DM, email to shipping? Yeah, so kind of the whole process of starting the dialogue and then you ordering the shoe or then sending the shoes, you doing the whole process and then sending them back. I absolutely do think that could be a video for sure. Alex says, yeah, so does that mean you can't get anything on the sneaker app shops? I can't, but my sneaker buying days are few and far between from where they were. For years I was buying almost anything Nike drop, because up until drops every single week, but there was usually only like 12 Jordan retro drops per year, and that's when I was buying all of those. But that was even before the sneakers app. That's when shoes would release was it at midnight on Nike.com? Might have been, and I was still able to then. But yeah, yep. Let's see here. What type of paint should I use on mesh and canvas? Is the standard Angelus? Yeah, you would just mix in Too Soft with that. Let's see. Bandolero says, can I DM you a custom I did and you give me a review on the sneakers? I've been watching your channel and amazed at the quality you put out. Yeah, absolutely. Shoot us a DM on Instagram, and we will gladly. The reason why people don't paint the sole bottom of shoes, because the paint's going to wear off very quickly anytime you paint the bottom soles of your shoes. So definitely not something that I recommend. Ty Custom Kick says, is custom tissue paper worth it for a small customizer, or is it too expensive? Custom tissue paper, we had to buy 2 ginormous boxes of it. I'm trying to remember the exact cost. I want to do a video very soon on branding everything from tape, boxes, tissue paper, and I need to find all my receipts for everything and try to remember how I did cost comparisons on different sites in different quantities and how we settled on our quantities, and what all that stuff cost and when it would be time to actually spend the money on those types of things like tape, tissue paper, boxes, and whatnot. PA says, can you give some info on selling stencils, please? It is not, I think you said it is it easy to sell stencils online? Yeah, you could sell them on eBay. You can sell them on eBay. Alex says, would you not even paint the midsole if a client is very adamant on it, even after you tell them all the risk? I just wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Because the client is going to be walking around essentially like a walking billboard for me. So I'm not going to have them wearing something that isn't going to hold up. Let's see, what is it? All right, Laura. DJ says, why do you have so many shoelaces hanging up? It's just all the shoelaces we've purchased for any type of custom we need, and you name it, any color imaginable, other than a custom color I need to dye, then I have, thousands of laces. So they're just ones that we've purchased over the years. Yvette, hello from the other side of the stage. I don't know if I missed your question, Yvette. Let me know. But let's see. What kind of selling stencils? Can you bleach parts of your shoe to make them a lighter color so you can paint them? I haven't done that in the past. Like if you're working with a black suede pair, can you bleach it? And it's not going to turn white because you're going to get that weird pink color anytime you bleach something that's black. So not something that I fully recommend. Let's see. Will you ever do a video showcasing your work area and how you set things up to work best for you? Yeah, absolutely. We want to have a follow-up to a studio tour in here soon, and that's something that I would be talking about. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and answer 2 more questions, guys. We will answer 2 more questions. George says, would you recommend dyeing a rubber sole only if it is translucent, like a Jordan 11? That's when you could dye it. But otherwise, no. So only if it was translucent, like, the pods on a Jordan 6, a Jordan 11 sole. Those are ones that you could dye. But otherwise, no, I would not recommend it. Okay, we will review one more Instagram. Somebody's been asking. I think I've seen you a couple other times too. Aiden, and that will be our final one. So East Coast Customs, let's see. Do I have the right thing on? Yes, I do, so you guys can see what I'm seeing. East Coast, whoops, spelled it wrong, Customs. 2019. Established 2019, one of one Sneaker Customs, Marlborough, Massachusetts. I hope I said that city right. DM for customs started at $100. Personal Instagrams. Okay, so the feed. We got some J. Cole, UNC, Air Force Ones. This is cool. I dig the graphic. Playing with some different styles of content. Playing with video. Playing with photos. Look at that. We got some cool graphics popping up on top. I dig that. Let's see what else. Ooh, these are loud. The Space Jam Kyries. Those are dope. Photos are solid. Yeah, lots of different, the photography has already improved a lot from here. The photography has already gotten much better. Clearly here, it's very overexposed, so it's already improved a lot. Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely, gotten a lot better, and I would say just continue to work on photography. Photography is always going to be the biggest thing, guys. It's always going to be the biggest thing for me, and the artwork is cool, though. The artwork is dope, cool, testing out a lot of different things, playing with the swoosh here, the Rick and Morty theme. This is good stuff. Chicago custom on some Nikes. Artwork looks clean. Just the photography, man. Continue to improve that photography here on, looks like a tennis court. You know, playing with where you place them on the court. But, I mean, look at the stencil work. The work is clean. Just improve the photography. Keep working on it. Keep working on it. Good stuff. Stay active on the story. Nothing for me to click here on the story. You only need to post once every 24 hours. I'll always say that you want to have that active so people can see it. People know you're active. Anytime they're finding you for the first time, you have that ring active. They know that you're an active page. That's going to be a good thing for them to see. So definitely recommend always staying active on the story. Matthew says best sports movie. The best sports movie. Some good ones. Let's say Coach Carter. That's a great one. I'm going to absolutely miss out on some Like Mike. That was cool. I just did a pair of those two for Bow Wow. Oh, gosh. Great sports movies. So, Friday Night Lights, Gridiron Gang. I don't want to miss one. What are some other... gosh. On the spot, it's tough. It's on the tough. When we're talking about best sports movie. What else? I think I named the typical basketball ones, but what else is there? Football, you got Friday Night Lights, got Gridiron Gang, baseball, oh, Field of Dreams, the Black Sox, yes, Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner, or, oh yeah, Field of Dreams with Ray Liotta, oh my goodness, and the voice of Darth Vader, Earl, I'm forgetting the voice actor names for Darth Vader. What is it? Earl Ray Jones? What is it? Earl something. Let me know in the chat. I can't believe I'm forgetting it right now. Ricky Bobby, yeah, Talladega Nights. That's a great one. Longest Yard, Bloodsport, The Program. Those are good ones. Hoosiers, of course. Sandlot. Yes, that is good stuff. James Earl Jones. How did I forget that? James Earl Jones. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. I thought it started with Earl. I'm excited to actually see, I think it's called The Way Back, the Ben Affleck sports movie that just came out. I know, obviously, we can't get to theaters, but I would love to see that one. I'm a huge Ben Affleck fan. I think his last 10 years, he has done some great stuff. He had a weird period, where everybody didn't like him. But Ben Affleck in Gone Girl, phenomenal movie. Ben Affleck in The Town, phenomenal movie. I even like Ben Affleck as Batman, guys. I know that might be a controversial take. Maybe the movies weren't great, but his portrayal of Batman was solid, in my opinion. So, yes. That is that. So, thank you guys for joining us. This is probably a long one. How long have we been on here, guys? Ooh, almost 2 hours. Oh, my goodness. This was a long one today. So thank you guys for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everybody for sending in those super chats, supporting us in so many different ways. Thank you for just hanging out with us here, allowing me to look at some Instagrams. And yeah, let me know who wants those Air Forces. We'll get those sent out to you guys. Thank you for joining us. As always, Greatly appreciate you guys. Can't say that enough. Hopefully you guys checked out this week's video. A little bit more of a niche topic, but on shipping procedures, things, and saving some money on shipping. I think it can be helpful to a lot of you guys. The next 2 weeks, we got some bangers for videos. Some stuff that you guys are, I am excited for you guys to see. So thank you guys for joining us. Greatly appreciate you guys. And we will see you guys in the next one.